back to A to Z Animals, where today we're discussing the largest Sidewinder rattlesnake ever recorded. But before we get into this video, please consider subscribing with post notifications on so that you'll never miss an upload. Of all the rattlesnakes in the world, Sidewinders are one of the most famous. As you might have guessed from their name, they move using a peculiar sidewinding motion. Here we'll discover the largest Sidewinder rattlesnake ever recorded and much more. Sidewinders are similar in appearance to most other kinds of rattlesnakes, like the prairie rattlesnake and eastern diamondback rattlesnake. They're non-aggressive and rarely bite people. Like most snakes, Sidewinder rattlesnakes eat small creatures, which they hunt with their heat vision. They're pit vipers and live exclusively in the southwestern US and Mexico. Though they present little danger to humans, Sidewinders are often killed out of fear and misapprehension. That's why, now more than ever, it's important to understand these incredible creatures. Though there are 4 species of viper, all commonly known as sidewinders, only one is the Sidewinder rattlesnake. They're also known as horn vipers, or horned vipers. Most sidewinders grow to 20 inches long, just under 2 feet. The largest Sidewinder rattlesnake ever recorded measured at over 30 inches long, or 2.5 feet. The upper bound for Sidewinder rattlesnakes, according to the venomous reptiles of the Western Hemisphere, is 31.5 inches, with females being larger than males. Sidewinder rattlesnakes are pit vipers. They're native to the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. They don't grow quite as large as other rattlesnakes, but they're comparable in size to the pygmy rattlesnake, which is common in the southeastern United States. The most recognizable aspects of the Sidewinder rattlesnake's appearance are its rattle and the horns above its eyes. Sidewinders don't have true horns. Instead, they're large raised scales, which may help shade their eyes from the sun. Even the largest Sidewinder rattlesnake ever recorded had a rattle, though rattle length cannot be used to determine the age. As rattlesnakes grow, the tip of the rattle frequently breaks off, making room for new rattle sections. Sidewinders are generally very light in color, with darker splotches of color along their backs and sides. Their bellies are pale cream in color, while their sides and back are tan and light brown. Further, they have yellow eyes with narrow, vertically split pupils. The Sidewinders are some of nature's most proficient hunters. Using their heat and scent sensing abilities, they follow prey to their burrows. Then they wait, coiled up into an S position. Once the prey comes close enough, the Sidewinder strikes in a move so fast that few creatures can evade it. But perhaps even more impressive than its hunting strategy is the Sidewinder rattlesnake's method of locomotion. Normally, snakes slither forward, with most of their body touching the ground. But because of the extreme heat of the desert sands, Sidewinder rattlesnakes have evolved to move while most of their body remains elevated. To do this, they shift their bodies sideways, one half at a time. This results in the curious sidewinding motion and keeps them cool at the same time. During cooler months, Sidewinders usually limit their activity to daytime hours. Alternatively, depending on the climate, they may go into full brumation until the mating season starts back up in spring. Then, while the weather is warmer, these snakes become nocturnal. Sidewinder rattlesnakes are endemic to the desert lands of southwestern North America and northern Central America. Specifically, they live in California, Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, Baja, and northwestern Mexico. Because they live in such mercilessly hot settings, Sidewinders hunt mostly at night. During the day, they stay cool and conserve energy by sleeping in the shade of rocks or abandoned rodent burrows. As juveniles, Sidewinder rattlesnakes are only big enough to eat small prey like lizards. In fact, their diets consist almost entirely of small reptiles until they get big enough to take down the relatively larger creatures of the desert. Adult Sidewinder rattlesnakes eat lizards, birds, and rodents. The biggest component of their diet is mammalian, with mice and rats high on the list. Sidewinder rattlesnakes give birth to an average of 10 snakes per litter that are born in an embryonic membrane. Upon birth, the young snakes are known as snakelets. For the first week, the baby Sidewinders stick together to conserve heat during cold desert nights. Their mother provides protection for newborns during this period. However, once they shed their skin, they'll venture out on their own. In the wild, Sidewinder rattlesnakes are thought to live for 5 to 10 years. In captivity, though, they've been known to live for nearly 20 years. As pit vipers, Sidewinders have heat-sensing pits and large venom glands. Their heat-sensing pits are located near their nostrils, while their venom glands sit just behind their eyes. The venom courses through hollow, switchblade-like fangs and into their prey. Once bitten, rodents generally succumb within minutes or hours, depending on the amount of venom injected. In cases of human bites, not all attacks actually inject venom. Many self-defense bites are dry, although all rattlesnake bites should be treated by medical professionals. Sidewinder rattlesnakes are currently listed as least concern. As long as their habitats remain unfragmented and their prey remains readily available, they should survive as a species for a very long time. If you happen upon a sidewinder in the wild, remember, look, but don't approach. Never attempt to touch or harass a sidewinder rattlesnake. They only bite if threatened and do not hunt or seek out humans. Like most wild animals, they would rather be left alone. Did you find this interesting? Leave that in the comments below. Subscribe for more animal content like this.